What's up, sports bettors? NFL lines are on the move. I'm going to be taking you through the three best bets for today. So let's start out with Sunday Night Football. We're going to be looking at Cowboys versus Bucs. Okay, so you can see on most sports books, the Cowboys are offered at roughly plus 115, plus 120. You can see the Betfair exchange is actually giving you the best price on both the Cowboys at plus 122 on the money line and on the Buccaneers at minus 125 on the money line. Only 3 cents of juice is baked into the into the market on the betting exchanges. So that just kind of shows you the power of the betting exchanges, right? As you get closer to game time, the Betfair exchange will become very active and there will be a lot of money trading hands, and there's very little vig, right? There's very little juice. So you can use it as a source of information, right, about what the lines should be priced at. So as an example, if you could get the Cowboys plus 130, that would seem pretty good, right? Because it's an ARB with the exchange, which is giving you minus 125 on the Buccaneers, and there's thousands of dollars being bet on each side of the betting exchanges. So it's a very active, liquid market. So even though certain sports books like Pinnacle, which is the OddsJam perfect line, are very sharp, very efficient betting markets, it's also, especially as you get closer to game time, it's critical that you're looking at the betting exchanges as a source of information, even if you're not betting on them. Right? Because when the Betfair exchange is giving you plus 122 for like $5,000 on the Cowboys, the last thing you want to do is go and bet the Cowboys at plus 118 money line on Caesars, right? So it's all about using all of the different, prices in the betting market. All sportsbooks set lines independently. So you kind of want to look at the betting market as a whole as you try to determine what the fair price or the true price for a bet should be. So for example, if you could get the Buccaneers minus 118, that would look really good considering the Betfair exchange is giving you plus 122 on the Cowboys. And they only have 3 cents of juice baked into their market. But anyways, what we can do is also just look at player passing yards. Again, on OddsJam, browsing odds for any sport you want to look at is completely free. Right? Esports, UFC, MMA, whatever you want to look at is completely free. DAX, passing yards line kind of set at 262.5 to 271.5. So depending on the sports book you're betting on, once again, the importance of line shopping, right? If you want to bet DAC over, you should be placing that bet on FanDuel. Why would you bet over 271.5 for DAC on Bet365 when you could bet over 262.5 on at the same price, right? You're going to feel awfully stupid if Dak has exactly 267 passing yards and you lose your bet on Bet365 and everyone else wins their bet on FanDuel. So that's why it's so critical to have multiple sports books and, compare lines, which is completely free. It takes 5 seconds with OddsJam. Tom Brady, his passing yards line is at over under 274.5. But you can also see Prize Picks is at 294.5, so that actually seems like a pretty big line discrepancy. We may have to go after that in a bit, but anyways, that's not the point of this video. So the first bet I have, right, and of course all of our picks are going to be positive EV. Positive EV bets just mean, mathematically profitable bets where there is value in the odds, right? So for example, the first pick I ended up going with is the Cowboys first half point spread plus half. So if the Cowboys are winning or it's tied, my bet cashes. I bet this at minus 110 and the value looks ridiculous. So I think that Pointsbet and Resorts World, they just have the same exact odds. And you can see here that minus 110 is incredible value, right? Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, only 14 cents of juice baked into their market. They have this all the way down at minus 125. This is an ARB to Pinnacle, so by definition, arbitrage betting, you can make risk-free money betting on both sides. So we know one of these bets has to be profitable, and Pinnacle's the sharpest bookmaker, so we want to place our bet on Resorts World. Bet online, has this minus 130, so that makes this minus 110 look even better. No other sportsbook's giving us better than minus 120. So this bet looks overall pretty incredible. I ended up locking it in for $500. I also locked in the Packers first half money line. Looked absolutely ridiculous. Plus 120. ARB to DraftKings, ARB to Pinnacle. Right? You could have made risk-free money laying 115 to win 100 on the Vikings and then laying 100 to win 120 on the Packers. Right? That's called arbitrage betting. It's a market inefficiency when sportsbooks have such big discrepancies in odds between equal and opposite outcomes, team A winning, team B winning, that you can bet on equal and opposite outcomes and make a risk-free profit. It's called arbitrage betting. But regardless, super high profit margin on this bad boy, 4.39% profit margin. Lock that in. And then I also have the Giants first half point spread, plus 3.5, minus 110. Looks incredible. No other bookmaker giving us better than minus 121. Once again, just too much value to pass up. So we can refresh, see if anything else strikes our eye. Oh my gosh, that looks absolutely incredible on FanDuel. So we'll have to rush to bet this after this video. The sports betting market is dynamic. You never know when these amazing betting opportunities are going to occur. So you really have to rush. Alvin Kamara, over 14.5 rushing attempts on PointsBet. That looks pretty good. DraftKings pricing this minus 150. Caesars pricing this minus 163. Cowboys first half money line. A lot of good bets, a lot of line movements in the NFL today. Lock in some of these plays and let's make money.